And a very good morning from the Thorpe Park Resort. You're watching Adventure Planet, where today I'm back here for the first time since opening day to take advantage of what is going to be an absolutely gloriously sunny and warm spring weekend here in the UK. Going to be heading into the park, getting on as many of my favorite rides as I can do, and also bring you any of those updates that might have occurred in the past several weeks since I was last here. Now, the biggest update obviously is Hyperia. Now, both trains on Hyperia have had a number of its wheels replaced from polyurethane rubber to a new nylon material. Now, that should mean that those high speeds are kind of sustained for longer throughout the ride, which hopefully should prevent the valleying issues that ride has suffered from over the past year or so. So we'll get a couple of rides on there and just see if it's changed the ride experience at all. Hopefully for the better, but we'll see. I'll give you my verdict a little bit later on in this video. We'll also be getting on as many of my favorite rides as possible, and like I say, just bring you all the updates here from the resort. Park hours today, 10 a.m. through until 6. I'll tell you what, that sun is absolutely glorious. Come with me as I enjoy a day out here at Thorpe Park. And there he is, you just saw him in the background of the intro there. It is the big shark from the Thorpe Shark Cabins. I think he looks absolutely great, doesn't he? Even better in this glorious sun. Love the signage as well up the top here. And yeah, it really is a great place to stay if you've not done so already. Lots of themed accommodation here, including Hyperia now, which is a room that I've not yet stayed in, but it does actually look really, really cool. So yeah, worth doing that if you've not done so already. And prices here are quite reasonable as well. So if you want to do a 2-day visit to the park, definitely worth looking at staying at the Thorpe Shark Cabins. It's already nicely maintained around here, and it's literally just, you're going to take a right just as you're coming over the bridge down towards the dome, so you're pretty much in the park itself. So absolutely fantastic when you want to get up in the morning and just head straight into the park. Definitely worth checking out their website to get all the latest prices and information. And like I say, definitely worth staying here if you've not done so already. Some more of that great signage. Awesome. And if you've seen any of my previous Thorpe Park vlogs here on the channel, you'll know how much I love the Thorpe Park skyline here. But on days like today, when it's really nice and sunny and warm and those blue skies, it really is even better, isn't it? It looks absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it's going to be a quite busy day here at the park today. Queue times averaging around 30 to 40 minutes currently. Hyperia is on 80 minutes, the Swarm 55. And yeah, it did actually take quite a while to get through security today as well. So yeah, expect it to be quite a busy day. People taking advantage of that glorious weather. I'm going to make a beeline for Hyperia anyway. We're going to join the single rider queue because I do want to get my rides in on that today and just check out what that possibly improved experience is going to be like with those nylon wheels. Let's go take a look. And there goes Quantum there in the background, Rush just next to it as I make my way over to Hyperia, but I thought I'd just make a quick stop at the beach. And yeah, look at this. Of course, we saw all this for opening day, the way it had all been kind of repainted and looking really nice and fresh, but today it's all filled with water. We got the little fountains going here as well, and it does look really inviting actually. I feel like a lot of people would have taken advantage of this today, but of course this is all getting ready for the summer when it will reopen, and I should imagine a lot of people will be here swimming, sunbathing in the back there with all the sun loungers, and taking advantage of the little slide just off to the right there as well. On the other side though, as part of Project Pivot, no further developments since opening day. Yeah, still all dry and not much going on here at all. Of course, this is going to be part of that new seating area. We're going to have a stage just towards the back here, and you'll actually enter into the area through where this Amity Beach shack is now. That'll all be demolished, and you'll come in through there. So yeah, we're going to have some food units around here, and of course, the latest news is that Merlin has partnered with RWS Global to provide that kind of third-party entertainment. However, interestingly, it was only Chessington, Alton Towers, and Legoland that was actually mentioned as part of that. So yeah, whether they'll be coming to Thorpe Park or not, I'm not too sure, but yeah, I imagine this is going to be something that will probably be opening for 2026. Yeah, like I say, certainly nothing happening here currently, and getting a stage in for this year would seem pretty pointless really, seeing as they have cut back pretty much all of their events apart from Fright Nights, which is yeah, pretty sad really. I should imagine a lot of people will be taking advantage of Tidal Wave here as well today. But yeah, this side of the beach really does look great. Nice and fresh for the 2025 season. And here comes Storm Surge, currently on a 40-minute wait. Hey, nice refreshing ride for a day like today. All the water effects working. Hey. And not forgetting right behind that, we do have High Striker. If you've got little ones, they can take advantage of this little junior drop tower, or bounce tower, whatever you want to call them. It's a good little ride, that. It looks the part as well. It's quite well themed and quite busy today as well. Yeah, Storm Surge is looking a little bit tired these days, of course, though, isn't it? Came from Cypress Gardens, that ride. Of course, now known as Legoland Florida. And speaking of Legoland Florida, just a week and a half left to go before I will be heading over there myself. And we'll be visiting Legoland Florida as well as all the Disney parks and the Universal parks, including Epic Universe on opening day, and the SeaWorld parks as well, SeaWorld Orlando and Busch Gardens Tampa. That's all coming up on the channel very, very soon. Ah, you know what? I just love walking around the park on days like today. There goes Colossus. Missed my ride on that on opening day, actually. Of course, for those that remember watching that vlog, we had a power cut towards the end of the day, which took a lot of the rides down for a considerable amount of time. So yeah, hopefully we'll get on Colossus a little bit later on. 30-minute wait time for Rush. S&S Screaming Swing. Of course, that was all repainted as part of the Sparkle project last year. Still looking pretty fresh. Also people taking advantage of the seating around here as well, as we head down towards Colossus. And this is a ride that's looking really fresh now, isn't it? Pretty much done now with the painting. Just the lift hill, that first drop, and the vertical loop to be done. The rest of it's looking really, really cool. Beautiful day. Can't wait to get on Hyperia. Like I say, we'll head on to the single rider line. Hopefully we won't be waiting too long. Currently advertised at 80 minutes. Some off-ride footage there then of Colossus, the Power of 10, currently on a 45-minute wait. And Samurai here, the Mondial top scan, currently on 20 minutes. And operations so far have been good from what I've seen. And then in the background there, the Bone Shaker, the Headache Maker, it's Saw the Ride. Currently on a 70-minute wait. But I'll tell you what, in fairness, I call it the Bone Shaker and the Headache Maker, but on opening day I actually rode that, and it was probably one of the most comfortable rides I've ever had on Saw the Ride. So yeah, maybe it's improving, who knows. Still not going to wait 70 minutes for it though. And there he goes. Hey. Great theming on the ride though, if nothing else. And leaving Samurai and Colossus behind then as we head on down to Fearless Valley. Oh, it's such a great view of Hyperia from here, isn't it? Absolutely glorious. And I'll tell you what, even in just a few short weeks since opening day, look how this is all starting to grow up around here. I'll tell you what, Fearless Valley really does look the part now. All these trees around, all the rock work in place. It looks fantastic. And that's it, we've had some really good weather here in the UK over the past couple of weeks, and that's really just kind of helped bring all this up, you know? It looks great. Oh yeah, that's a long queue. Yeah, that's a good 80 minutes. 70 to 80 minutes. Let's go take a look. Ah, oh, there she is, the beast. Gives me goosebumps every time I walk into this area. Of course, you've got Fearless Fuel off to the right there. And of course, Cloud9 Treats open as well. Perfect day for that today. And here she is, Hyperia, currently listed 70 minutes. But like I say, I will join the single rider queue, see how long I wait for that. Hopefully we'll shave a good kind of 15-20 minutes off perhaps. Hyperia, the golden goddess. Are these nylon wheels really going to make a difference? We'll see. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more ejector after the non-inverting element here, and maybe a bit more on that kind of outer bank turn there at the back. I'm just hoping it doesn't take too much away from the hang time experienced from the stall here, because that's my favorite part of the ride, bar none. Looks as though the splashdown effect is still not in action either. There was some work being done to that over the past several weeks, but it's still not on. There was talk that it was actually potentially going to be removed, but it's still in place as at time of filming. And here she comes into that absolutely epic first drop. Beautiful. Absolutely outstanding. It really is a phenomenal ride. Hang time still looks pretty good from here, but we'll see. Let's join that single rider queue and see how long we wait. Well, it was advertised at 70 minutes. I've waited just 25 for row number 8 in the single rider line. Absolutely legendary ops, really, really epic. Getting the train sent out nice and fast and getting people batched up really quickly as well. Phenomenal ops on Hyperia today. Can't wait for my ride. Row number 8 as well. It's a great place to be sat. Anywhere towards the back or anywhere towards the front in Hyperia is absolutely epic.
For the comfort of those around you, smoking, including the use of
have my ride on the UK's tallest and fastest roller coaster then, Hyperia, here at the Thorpe Park Resort. And before I talk about the ride experience itself, big shout out to the ops team on there. Absolutely phenomenal. Trains flying out of the station. Shout out to Ben there as well, getting everybody batched up nice and efficiently. Epic operations, some of the best I've ever seen it here for Hyperia. Now, as for the ride itself, now it's important to note that not all of the wheels have been changed from that polyurethane rubber into nylon. Only a few of them have done. And it's important to note that it doesn't affect the top speed of the ride at all. Still hitting 81 miles an hour. It just means that kind of that top end of the speed is sustained for longer throughout the layout. And that does result in a slightly shorter ride. It is clocking in now at about 1 minute 20. But in terms of all the different elements on there, I felt like you didn't really kind of feel the difference in speed until you're kind of coming out of that overbank section. The first drop is still as epic as it's ever been. The obviously non-inverting element, still a nice bit of ejector on there. You then come down obviously into that overbank. Now, and at that point, that is where Hyperia has been suffering quite a lot with valleying issues. It kind of comes out of that non-inverting element, goes up into the overbank, and then kind of rolls back at that point, resting in the valley. Now, interestingly, I didn't feel like there was much an improvement in speed or a faster speed at that point. So it will be interesting to see if this solves the issues with valleying on this ride. Obviously, it's a really warm day today. That might be affecting things a little bit as well. I will say, disappointingly, it does slightly affect the stall. Not as much hang time, in my opinion, on the stall at the moment. Again, that could be down to it being a really warm day today and it's just flying through that layout. But I did feel like there was less hang time, which is a shame, as that's my favorite part of the ride. However, coming out of that stall into that nice bit of ejector, that was much improved. That's a really good part of the ride now. Before, it just felt like something of nothing really, a little bit of a twist and a bit of a pop, but now it's running really quick through that and it's a nice bit of ejector. If you're a guy, watch your balls. The splashdown effect is still not working. Like I say, there's been kind of rumors that that may be getting removed. I have to see what happens with that in the future, but at the moment it's still not on. But the operations are the star of the show today. It's still a fantastic ride. It's still by far and away the best coaster here in the UK, in my opinion. I'm just a little bit disappointed at the less hang time on the stall. It's still the slowest part of the ride, don't get me wrong, and there's still a nice bit of hang time to be had, but I do feel like it's not as much as it once was. However, if it does solve those valleying issues on the ride, it can only be a good thing, as unfortunately Hyperia really has suffered over the past year with those valleys. So let's see if it improves things. One to watch for the future, and we'll see what happens. Gonna head into the shop now then, as there's a couple of pieces of new merchandise that have come out since I was last here for opening day. Let's go check them out. And like I say, just a few new bits in the shop then. I think this is new, at least I don't think I saw it on opening day. Nice t-shirt here. Of course, they've got the hoodie version of this. This is obviously the t-shirt for £30. Nothing on the back, but of course it's got that Hyperia skyline and the Hyperia logo there. I'm not a big fan of this big kind of rubber logo on it though. It seems a bit big for the t-shirt. Looks okay on the hoodie, but yeah, not too sure about it on the sleeve there. Looks a little bit big. I think I would have preferred it without that, but still nice for £30. But the best parts are just over here, the new resins. You've got the Hyperia logo resin here for £18. That's quite a nice piece, that. And you've also got the Hyperia mug here for £12, nice and embossed, with the coaster on there and the nice Hyperia logo on the inside as well. But this has got to be my favorite one, £18. It's the ride vehicle resin, look at that. Absolutely brilliant. This looks a little bit cheap on the front here. Looks like that will kind of break off. I mean, it won't, it's on there nice and sturdy. But yeah, I think I would have preferred the logo actually on the kind of train itself, you know, on the front or across here like it is on the actual ride. But yeah, that is really nice. Nice piece that for £18. I might pick myself up one of them, put it on my desk at work. And I did just make my way over to Colossus to get my ride on that. Unfortunately, that is now on a 65-minute wait. And saw the ride still on 60 minutes. So it's a busy day here at the park. That's good to see, though. All the saw the ride theming around here. Yeah, I think I'll head on over down towards Amity now then. Might get some nice sprays from Tidal Wave. I still don't think I'm quite brave enough to go on it today. Perfect day for it, but unfortunately I've not got a change of clothes. These fans here off to the right should do with being on today. That would have been really nice walking through here. It's a beautiful day. What better place to spend it here at Thorpe Park? There's the queue for Colossus just through there. And it's great to see the park busy. I always enjoy a busier park. Yes, it means you queue for longer, unless of course you can take advantage of those single rider lines, but it just means the park's got so much more of an atmosphere, you know. Met some lovely people today. Always nice to just get out, meet people that share that same enthusiasm for the parks and for the rides here, you know. And people just chilling out here in the sun. There we are. Picnic benches are now sun lounges. Yeah, we'll head down now. Still got to pick up my my free flask, actually, my free water bottle. Pick it up at the mega store. Got a Hyperia one last year. I've not actually picked up the one for this year yet. So I'll head over there, get some off-ride shots of Tidal Wave, and maybe head on into Big Easy Boulevard. Get some rides on Detonator and then head across to Nemesis Inferno. That's currently on a 40-minute wait. Beautiful breeze coming in off the lake, that's just nice. Now, Tidal Wave hasn't actually opened so far today, however they have been cycling the boats around and everyone's enjoyed getting a nice spray from it. Hopefully this opens at some point. We are approaching 2 o'clock now though. Hey! Everyone just enjoying a bit of a spray in there. Unfortunately, because they're empty boats, it's not coming right across. So yeah, hopefully it opens up soon. Again, it's a shame to see all the water rides down on days like today. Obviously the Rumba Rapids here are still not open either, although they have been testing recently, so again, hopefully that will be opening up very, very soon. Yeah, we're going to take a look at that a little bit later on. Absolutely gorgeous theming around here in Amity though, isn't it? Yeah, we'll take a little look at Stealth as well a bit later on. That's still closed as well. That's been closed for some time now. So we're going to have a look, see if we can see anything happening over at Amity Speedway. And after cycling the boats then, they have just made the announcement that Tidal Wave is now open. And yeah, look at the queue for it. Coming right back out to here. Don't blame people at all. It's the absolute perfect day for a ride on Thorpe Park's Shoot the Chute ride. Tidal Wave. Absolutely epic theming around here as always. Beautiful. I hope they all have a good ride. I'm going to be heading in to Big Easy Boulevard though. Hey, the music blaring out here. Get my rides in on Detonator and of course Nemesis Inferno. Welcome to New Orleans, Big Easy Boulevard. Wow, it is really loud around here. All your game stalls around here. And yeah, this was an area that was brand new for last season, taking over what once was Angry Birds Land. And I gotta say, I think they've done quite a good job around here. All the facades looking nice and colourful, nice and vibrant. Detonator was given a nice re-theme as well, no longer bombs away. And you got all the fireworks around and it's just a 20-minute wait as Nemesis Inferno powers around as well. And I've got to say, I have just picked up my free drinks bottle from the mega store. Unfortunately though, 3 of the free refills I've walked past are all out of action. So yeah, I'm really quite parched. But here we go, Detonator, 20-minute wait, not too bad. Let's go. Just had my ride on Detonator there in the drop tower here at the Thorpe Park Resort, and I tell you what, don't be deceived by that one. It is only 115 feet, however it really does pack a punch, nice and intense, and offers some good views around the park as well. Manufactured by Hyperia, and it's been here since 2001. And in better news, I did actually find a Coke Freestyle that works just outside of Detonator. Got myself my Hyperia cup, along with a nice, fresh Dr. Pepper Zero cherry and vanilla flavor. And I'll tell you what, that's going down well on this beautiful day. Hey, really do love Detonator, and I do think the re-theme back to Detonator was a good choice. Detonator bombs away in Angry Birds Land, yeah, it really wasn't my favourite. I just wish they would get rid of the pre-recorded audio and send it back to the ride operator. That was always fun, really kind of built that anxiety of when that ride was going to drop. Of course, here in Big Easy, you do still have the Sunset Cinema. That is still showing Ready Player One on the hour, every hour here. Yeah, it's not too bad. If you've not done it before, worth seeing. I'm not a big fan of 4D cinemas myself though, so I don't do it every time I come here to the park. And there goes Nemi. Nemesis Inferno, currently on a 60-minute wait. Into those interlocking corkscrews. Absolute staple of the ride. It still sounds great as well. 60 minutes is quite a long time though for Nemi Inferno. Gonna head down towards Amity Speedway now then, see if we can see any work going on Stealth. Of course, yeah, this has been closed for several weeks now. And yeah, I always get a little bit worried when these rides have extended periods of downtime because of course, as we know by now, the hydraulic launch systems have come to the end of their lives. They're not supported anymore. Of course, all the modern launch coasters now all use LSMs, which are a lot more reliable, cheaper to maintain. However, they don't have that kick to them. And I will really miss Stealth if and when it either gets removed completely or has its launch changed. And of course, Rumba Rapids just through here as well. Again, still not open, but it is testing. Here, all the water flowing through. No sign of any boats, but yeah, this is another ride that's not actually been open so far here at the resort. One of the oldest remaining rides here at the park, opened in 1987, this one. And yeah, you don't get extremely wet on here or anything. No wetter than you really get on the Congo River Rapids at Alton Towers, but yeah, on days like today, you really miss those water rides. Obviously good to see Storm Surge was actually up and in action, and Tidal Wave now as well. And you've also got Double Tea Party, hey! I do like a ride on Double. Funky soundtrack as well. Great little teacups attraction. There we are. Groovy. And unfortunately, as you can see, Stealth is still down here at Thorpe Park, with most of the Amity Speedway area all kind of barriered off here, as you can see. Can't actually see any work going on the ride itself. There is a cherry picker over here, but yeah, as you can see, Stealth down, no life here at all. Good to see, or hear I should say, that they've still got all the sound and audio around here, which just kind of livens the area up a little bit, stops it feeling too dead, you know. But yeah, it is concerning to see this. Obviously, Rita at Alton Towers is also down, and yeah, knowing what we know about those hydraulic launches, it is sad to see these out of action. Not expecting this ride to go anywhere anytime soon, but obviously it's never good to see extended downtime on these types of rides. So hopefully the park and Alton Towers as well can get these rides back up in action again soon. I do miss Stealth. It's an absolutely glorious coaster and the fastest accelerating coaster in the world. And we've also got the Big Easy bumpers here in Big Easy Boulevard. Absolute carnage. I always do enjoy a good dodgems. And these look great as well. Always a lot of fun. And behind Double's Tea Party then, you've also got the Burger King here, which of course you don't want to miss. Most people tend to go to the KFC, but it is worth noting that there is a Burger King here as well. And then yeah, see the back sides of these buildings for Big Easy Boulevard. I really do think they've done a good job. I think it looks great. Just a nice bit of vibrancy, you know, which the park really did need in this area, I felt. Angry Birds Land really did start to look very, very tired during its tenure here. And these just look so much better. Little arcade just through there. Yeah, all the buildings look so much better, don't they? Really brings life to this area of the park. And I've made my way back round to Nemesis Inferno then, which is currently now on a 40-minute wait. The 2003 B&M Invert. Hey, Nemesis Inferno. Oh, absolutely love it. And you know what? Yes, it's not as good as Nemesis Reborn, but I think it gets a lot of unfair flack, this ride. It really is still quite intense. As a matter of fact, this first drop here into this vertical loop is really nice and intense, actually. One of my favorite parts of the ride. You've got the awesome interlocking corkscrews, and you've got that nice fun little bit through the tunnel as well before you actually hit the lift hill. I think it's still an absolutely fantastic ride. It's just a shame that they chose to obviously give it the Nemesis name, as that's what obviously led everybody to kind of compare it with the ride at Alton Towers. But as a standalone ride, if it was just called Inferno, absolutely fantastic. I love it. Those interlocking corkscrews look great. Yeah, can't wait to get back on. Hopefully we don't have anyone throw up today as we did on opening day. And yeah, like I say, do bear that in mind. It is an intense ride. And 40 minutes, not too bad at all. As you can see on the cue board there, Hyperia is now 60. Detonator's now got a 35-minute queue. Wow. Oh, absolutely love it. What a glorious looking machine. And who remembers when all this kind of area around here was Peter Rabbit's Tropical Travels? Yeah, remember that? Before it all sadly burnt down. Oh, the bass. Oh, I do absolutely love days like today. Sun, blue skies, nice and warm. And there she goes. Phenomenal. Hey. Yeah, and they really kind of tidied up the queue line to Nemesis Inferno at the start of this season as well. A lot of hedge trimming that's gone on. Just makes it look a lot more presentable, you know. Good to hear all the audio working. And yeah, 40 minutes. And unfortunately, the volcano's not actually on, so no nice misty spray for me today. Great views of the ride from up here, though, and I tell you what, it's not going to be 40 minutes. I've only been queuing for 8 minutes, and we're just about to go into the station. Yeah, this is probably 15 minutes tops. So definitely over-exaggerated on the queue boards there. Yeah, it's great views over the park. And incredible operations here on Nemesis Inferno as well, as I'm almost on my Road 2 ride after waiting just 14 minutes. Absolutely incredible. Love this ride, love the soundtrack. I'm looking forward to getting back on. Let's go. Hey. What a great ride that was on Nemesis Inferno. Opened here at the park in 2003. 48 miles an hour, about 95 feet and 4 inversions. And I tell you what, that was flying around that layout. That's another good thing about the hot weather. Coasters just fly around. They even got a very mild pop of airtime just after the last inversion on that. Absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, none of the effects were working in the cave. That's a bit of a shame. Again, on this nice warm day, a bit of mist spraying all over you is quite nice, isn't it? And I always quite like that. It feels a bit bare when the effects aren't working, but it's a fantastic ride. I really do love it. Gonna head on down to the Walking Dead the ride now then. Apparently this is only on a 20-minute wait. See if I can take advantage of the single rider, and we're gonna ride on that Vekoma family thrill coaster. And there were some nice new bits of Nemesis Inferno merchandise for this season, but I would just like to reiterate that my favorite, probably favorite piece of merch so far for this season has to be the Nemesis Inferno volcano mug. I think this is absolutely awesome. £16 for this. It is absolutely huge, but I think it looks great. Look fantastic on any desk, that, or a shelf. Look at that. Great stuff. And straight across from the Nemesis Inferno gift shop, then, if you do want to calm those thrills down a little bit, you do still have Mr. Monkey's banana ride here. Just a 5-minute wait. Here he is, Mr. Monkey himself. Who else misses the Thorpe Park Rangers? Yeah, he's still here. And there's his boat in the back. And you know what? I've always really loved the signage for this ride. And the theming on the ride itself is great as well. It is just one big banana. Yeah, and this, along with High Striker as well, are just some examples of the rides for kind of smaller children here at the resort. There's not many of them. There are a couple. Great. And there he is, Daryl's bike, still here outside the entrance to the Walking Dead at the ride. And actually, in the time it's taken for me to get to the entrance here, the queue time has gone up to now 45 minutes. Now, if I was in a group, I certainly wouldn't suggest waiting that long for this ride. It's good, the theming's okay, but it's not worth 45 minutes. However, I'm going to take advantage of that single rider queue, see how long I wait. Of course, groups will be split if you do decide to take that single rider. But it's good that it's busy, as that means you won't wait so long in single rider. If this ride is empty, You can find yourself hanging around quite a bit in single rider, as they do need to fully fill up those trains. Let's see how long we wait. Shouldn't be too long at all. 10 minutes. And I waited just 5 minutes for my ride on The Walking Dead then in that single rider queue. And I really enjoy the ride. I love a good enclosed coaster anyway, but there's some nice elements in there. It's one of those rides that I would like to do a behind the scenes on if I was to get an opportunity at some point in the future. I do think that the theming is a little bit tired now though. It's been The Walking Dead since 2018 and I would like to see something original come back to that ride. But still, I really do enjoy it. Flying fish behind me on just a 5-minute wait as well, but I'm going to make my way down to Swarm Island and get a ride on the B&M wing coaster, the Swarm. Let's go.
Your attention. Please remain seated at all times. Keep your arms and legs inside the boat.
And I've made my way down to Swarm Island then, and here she comes. Oh, into that 0G roll. Hey. And it's such a well-themed ride this, isn't it? Opened here in 2012 and for 11 years it was the UK's only wing coaster. And then of course Mandrill Mayhem opened up at Chessington World of Adventures. But this is a fantastic ride. I do love the Swarm. One of my favourite coasters here in the UK. 4 inversions, speeds of 59 miles an hour. And like I say, it is that theming around that really does set it off. I do miss the fire effects still, but it's great. Lots of photo opportunities around, as you can see. A huge near miss element with the billboard, and it looks like it's going to be a long one. A massive inclined loop, and of course the inline twist right above the station. And look at the station, it looks great, doesn't it? Now it's actually only advertised as 25 minutes. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. We'll see. Queue times have been exaggerated here at the park today, so maybe 25 minutes will be accurate. It's possible, I mean, it could be. We'll see. A helicopter over the back there. Oh, and that soundtrack. Absolutely awesome. The Swarm. Let's join up, see how long we wait. And they have just announced that the queue time is actually going to be 40 minutes. That sounds a little bit more like it, going by how the queue looks. I've waited 35 minutes for my ride on the Swarm then. Row number 3, left side of the train. Let's go. waited a total of 35 minutes then for my ride on the Swarm. Row number 3, left side of the train. And yeah, that's not my preferred side. I do prefer the right side, because then when you get to the top of the lift hill, on that wing over drop, you go right over the top instead of kind of underneath. But still, great views of London, top speeds of 59 miles an hour and 4 inversions on there. Love the incline loop, love the inline twist above the station as well. And the first drop is great on that, straight into that 0G roll and then through the near miss element of that signage. Love the soundtrack of the ride. I do just miss those fire effects. I do wish they would come back, but I think for health and safety reasons, that's not going to be happening anytime soon. Made my way back down to the Lost City area of the park then. You can just see Vortex behind me. I'm not going to have any time to get on the 4 flat rides here in Lost City. I'm going to make my way over to Colossus. That's apparently on a 15-minute wait. Might be able to get a ride in on that and then get my last ride of the day in on Hyperia. Definitely got to get back on the Golden Goddess. Just 55 minutes of park time left. Not going to miss out on another ride on that beast. Let's go. And of course, like I say, you've got 4 flat rides here in Lost City. Quantum over the back, Fabry flying carpet, looks like that's a complete walk-on. And you got Zodiac here as well, the Enterprise, celebrating its 25th anniversary in the park this year. Vortex as well, the KMG Afterburner, absolutely brilliant ride. My favourite flat ride here at the park. It is fantastic, great soundtrack, smoke effects all working on there. And of course you've also got Rush, the S&S Screaming Swing, which we saw a little bit earlier in the video. And then the one roller coaster as part of the Lost City is of course Colossus, the Power of 10, which I'm going to head on over to now. And if it is still a 15-minute wait, we'll definitely be jumping on that before the end of the day. And there goes Zodiac. Not quite vertical anymore, but still good enough. It's a classic ride. Hey. And here we are back at Colossus then, and it's just a 5-minute wait, and I am not turning that down. The Power of 10, let's go, 98 feet, 45 miles an hour. The Power of 10. Hey. 10 inversions, including that quad barrel roll. And yes, it can be a little bit uncomfortable with the overhead restraints on this. You do need to know how to ride it, but it's still an absolute classic ride, isn't it? And if I can get on in just 5 minutes, I might just have time for the single rider line on Saw the Ride. We'll see. Hey. Definitely want to make sure I get back on Hyperia before the end of the day. Yeah, all the fresh paintwork around here, looking great. Like I say, this is my first ride on Colossus. Hey. This season. So looking forward to getting back on here. Yeah, it is all looking really nice and fresh. It'd be nice once it's all completely finished. You know, the loop, the first drop, and that lift hill. Looking quite nice in the tunnel. Not so much in the way of theming around the Colossus queue line, but it's just nice, isn't it, all through the trees. And just 5 minutes later then, we're in the station, and I do like the station for Colossus. It's quite atmospheric with all the flickering lights. Row number 13. Could be a rough one.
Please stand clear, the gates are about to close. Your ride on Colossus is about to begin. Please keep your arms inside the train, your feet on the floor, and brace yourselves at all times.
And it was a walk-on ride on Colossus then. 5 minutes advertised straight through to the station, and it is fantastic. I've got a real soft spot for Colossus. I think it's epic. Yes, it is a little bit of a bone shaker, and it's definitely a head-forward ride, so you don't smack your head left and right on those over-the-shoulder restraints. But it is absolutely epic. I do love it. And it is getting old now. 2002 it opened here, and although sick at Flamingo Land is the more comfortable and smoother ride due to those lap bars instead of the over-the-shoulder restraints. Colossus is still absolutely phenomenal. I love it. 10 inversions on there, heights of about 98 feet, speeds of 45 miles an hour. The quad roll is absolutely great. The inline twist going the other way as you approach the station is great as well. You just need to know how to ride it, because it can, you know, you just need to tame it a little bit, you know, and then you can have an absolutely fantastic ride on it, as I did just there. Row 13, not really that rough at all. Anyway, about 20 minutes left of the park day now then, so I'm not going to get a single rider in on Saw. I'm going to head straight back to Hyperia. As you can see, I'm kind of making my way back to Fearless Valley. The epic looking samurai in the background really does look glorious with that new color scheme. Yeah, we're going to head on over to Hyperia, currently advertised on 40 minutes. We'll join single rider again and get our last ride in on the day on Hyperia, the Golden Goddess. What better way to end an absolutely beautiful day here at the Thorpe Park Resort. And we're back here now then in Fearless Valley to end our day here at Thorpe Park.
Is that where you come out? I thought you come out of there.
Oh, into that stall. And it's just a 35-minute advertised wait, but I am still going to join the single rider. Hyperia, Golden Goddess, final ride of the day. Single rider line. I've just topped up my free refill as well. Nice Coke Zero, cherry vanilla. Oh, I've definitely needed it today. It's been absolutely beautiful. And here we go, single rider line up to here. You know what, it actually might have been quicker to join the main queue, but we'll see how it goes. Might have made a wrong call for the single rider. Waited 40 minutes, however, it has finally happened. Front row, Hyperia, last train of the day. Let's go. Oh wow, super hyped for this. I rode this ride nearly 100 times and I've never had a front row. Today is the day. Oh, time to forge my wings. Let's go. And after waiting 40 minutes then in the single rider line on Hyperia, I finally got not one front row ride, but two. Last train of the day, sent it round again as soon as we came back into the station. Absolute, I tell you what, that ride on the front row is absolutely majestical. The views at the top of that lift hill, the ride experience itself. Oh my, do you know what? I've had almost 100 rides on Hyperia now, never had a front row, mainly due to the fact that I always join the single rider, and of course that does lower your chances quite considerably. However, getting those two rides in today was absolutely breathtaking. It really was. The views, the ride experience, that first drop on the front row is just absolutely outrageous. It's mind-blowingly good. One of the best first drops on a coaster out there anywhere in the world. Really was fantastic. In terms of the nylon wheels, it is hard to judge. It has been an exceptionally warm day today, so I'm not sure if that was actually making Hyperia ride faster anyway. The front row, I did still kind of feel like that stall was kind of lacking somewhat as you know, compared to what it used to be going back when it had the normal polyurethane wheels. So it's possible that it has changed it slightly. Not by too much, but I think just enough for it to be noticeable here and there across the ride. Certainly on that final piece of airtime right after the stall, that nice bit of twisty element there, nice pop of airtime. That is actually some pretty big ejector airtime now. So yeah, I do feel like that top end speed has been sustained throughout the ride. Like I say, whether that's due to the weather we've had today, the heat, or whether it's due to those nylon wheels, I'm not too sure. Need plenty more rides on it in the future. We'll see if it helps with the valleying issues. I really hope it does. Thorpe Park really have not deserved all the issues that Hyperia has given them over the past year, and I really do hope that this helps to resolve that somewhat. Throughout the park today though, it's been absolutely brilliant. As a matter of fact, today has been one of the best days I've ever had here at Thorpe Park from an operational point of view. It's been busy. Yes, we've averaged around 40 minutes for rides across the park today. However, operations have been absolutely on point, and I want to say a massive thank you to the staff around the park today for making that happen, especially on Hyperia. No downtime at all today. Those trains have been going out constantly every 30 seconds. Batching the riders up into the queues has been happening really fast, really efficient. Again, shout out to Ben end there, really doing an absolutely fantastic job, as have all the guys around the park today. It's been phenomenal. I cannot praise the operations enough here today at the park. It really has been exceptional. In terms of updates, there's not really been much that's happened really compared to when I visited on opening day. If you've not seen that vlog, do check that out right here in the Thorpe Park playlists on the channel. I do hope to see Stealth back up in action very, very soon, as well as the Rumba Rapids as well. That has been testing, so hopefully that'll be up and in action, giving those nice refreshing rides for the beautiful summer weather that we've been having today here at Thorpe Park. And with Stealth, like I say, it is concerning. There is going to be a big change with Stealth coming up over the next few years, I feel. So get your rides in on that as much as you can over the next few years. I absolutely love the ride. I have missed it today, but hopefully it will be back up in action very, very soon. Swarm has been absolutely fantastic. Great to get on The Walking Dead as well. Didn't do any rides in the Lost City today, apart from Colossus, which was also great. Giving a good ride there on row 13. Really, really did enjoy it. And it's just been a phenomenal day. I've not done as many rides as I would have liked to have done today, but it's not really been about that. I came down mainly today to try out Hyperia and experience that ride on those new nylon wheels. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you think is differing basically with the ride experience on Hyperia. Do you notice much of a difference? Is there less hang time? Is there more ejector? Let me know and see if you have a different opinion to what I have had here today. That's it from Thorpe Park though. In terms of the next vlog coming up, well, we're going to be back at Paulton's Park for the opening day of Ghostly Manor. Not just that though, it is their VIP event, the second one they've run and the second one that I will be attending. We're going to be able to go behind the barriers to check out the Vikings area, get some exclusive ride time, some behind the scenes, and of course those speeches and the presentations that happen on the main stage there, talking about the future of Paulton's Park, which should be really, really exciting. So that's coming up next right here on Adventure Planet. Be sure to join me for that one and follow me on the socials. We're on pretty much all of them, from Threads to Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, X, all of them that you can think of. So do go over and give us a follow on there. And of course, subscribe to the channel right here on YouTube if you have enjoyed today's vlog, and give it a thumbs up or just comment a nice smiley in the comments. It always helps out the channel. Here from Thorpe Park then, it's been absolutely fantastic. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, happy riding everybody, and I shall see you at Paulton's Park